Minecraft is a popular game we've all come to love, and for many of us it was a huge part of our childhood. Chances are your first experience was on Legacy, which were the console editions of the game, like Xbox and PlayStation, with each major update brought a new tutorial world, curated by 4J Studios. And some of these worlds are over a decade old now. These tutorial worlds started very small, but got bigger and better over the years, to the point where you could spend hours in them. Sadly, these worlds were discontinued in 2018, which is why I want to take a look at the history of Minecraft's famous tutorial worlds. Title Update 1, May 2012. So initially, we spawn into this area which you might recognise. First task is to finish this house. So of course, I cut down a tree, and I built pretty much the best house you'll ever see.
Nice.
Honestly guys, this is so nostalgic. Come to think of it, the last time I was in this world was 11 years ago. Wow, I was literally a kid. The point of these tutorial worlds is to show new players the basic mechanics in Minecraft. So I did a bit of fishing, which was really enjoyable. And I caught myself a raw salmon, which I'm pretty sure wasn't in the game at this point. Serves me right for playing on 1.19. There was other spots though, like this area that taught you how to ride boats, and I did some cool spins in there, and there was also a furnace which taught you how to cook food. Come to think of it, when this came out, there wasn't even hunger bars. There was no experience bar, there wasn't even sprinting. All you could do was walk around, and if you took damage, the only way to heal was to eat food. Man, different time, you had to be there. God, coming out to this village. It's so weird how you remember these things like it was yesterday. I had a quick look around, but the village was a little empty. But luckily, I found some villagers. Although, to be honest, I don't even think villagers were in the game at this point. And if they were, they definitely weren't called villagers and definitely called testificates. If you remember that, that is a throwback. There was a mine that hadn't been started, and this little building with a red bed inside. I also saw this castle in the distance, but there was no minecart to get there. So this villager kindly gave me a minecart. One thing you should know about me, I love a good minecart ride. You know, it's so weird seeing everything built out of stone and cobblestone and wood, because that is literally all that was in the game. I don't actually think stone brick was even in the game at this point. Wow, look how plain and boring the ocean looks. This is definitely terrain before the ocean update. What's weird is I specifically remember mining into a cave in that hill over there 11 years ago with one of my best friends at the time. Yep, nice little dock down here, and there were a little church area too. But that's mainly it, so I had a little fly around. I went up to the famous Minecraft sign, of course. I also found a little village, and the houses were a little different to what I remember. But it's nice to see how far Minecraft's come. I saw this cool little waterfall, and this really old looking lighthouse that was floating on the water. It had great interior design as well. I also found this random floating sand. And that was Title Update 1, and I'm going to give that a 10 out of 10 because you just can't beat the original. Title Update 3, July 2012. So I loaded up the world and instantly started dying. Yeah, this doesn't seem right. Yeah, let me try going back a few versions. Yep, that looks better. That looks better. So the area looks roughly the same, but at least the house is built a bit more. So in this update, they added pistons and redstone. And they showcased that with these sticky pistons right here. Cool, look at that water flow. Here's all the redstone items they added. And it seems like the redstone glitched out, as well as these fence posts actually. But hey, at least we learned how pistons work. And that's all that counts. And come to think of it, did they really add redstone mechanics before they added sprinting? What a strange decision. Time to head to the village. So everything's looking the same. All our villager friends are gone again. But at least someone's dug out the mine a little bit more. And hey, this bed is now white for some reason. I found another minecart again and went on a little ride, of course. You know I love it. And I came out to this contraption, which I remember all too well as a cobblestone self-building bridge, which at the time was a pretty cool trick. Let's see if it still works though. Okay, pressing the button. And it's no, it's not working. It's not working. Yeah, I tried using my massive brain to try and get it working, but I just couldn't do it. I played around with a redstone, and then I made obsidian. Stuff it, we'll build it ourselves. Oh dear. Oh no. Yeah. Okay, just ignore that. We're moving into the castle. Yeah, there wasn't really any changes with anything, to be honest. Although this time I did find a nether portal inside of the Minecraft sign. So I went through it and almost died to lava. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the nether didn't get ported over. Title Update 3, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Come on, it's a classic, what can I say? But this is where the tutorial worlds got even better. Title Update 5, October 2012. So this is the update where they added some new terrain, and essentially where Minecraft started looking a little bit different. There was no change to the tutorial area, so I went outside, which brought us out to this new area, and I found a jukebox and a music disc, so let's give it a listen. Nope, definitely not. I took a nice ride across the sea. Look at me go, don't I look cool? Once again, I felt very lonely. Where are all the villagers? If you leave a like right now, I might just find some. Oh, yep, there they are. I just found all the villagers. Yeah, this were a cool little village, something different. It was also right next to this other village. So I had a little bit of an exploration. Found myself a shovel and a music disc. And I also found some snow in the desert, which I'm pretty sure is illegal now. Come on, Mojang, how are we having snow in the hottest biome in the game? Well, I guess the Nether's hotter. Yeah, the Nether's hotter. I also found a blacksmith's with no chest. Sad. I wanted to explore the area I saw at the start, so I headed over there and realised the whole spawn is just floating. Nice one, 4J Studios. I had a quick walk up here and oh no, another cobblestone generator. Will it work? Okay, it's going. It's going. It's working. It's actually working. No, it's not working. It's not working. I showed off my beautiful parkour skills. And I went into this area, which I specifically remember quite clearly. I'm not sure why, I've just never forgotten this part. By the way, if you're watching and you've played on these worlds, let me know if you actually remember them. Or maybe it was just me that didn't go outside the year Minecraft came out. Oh look, a nether portal. I found a secret chest around here. And there was also a secret lever that opened up the nether portal. So I went inside and yes, it definitely doesn't work. I went to this area, there wasn't much there. I found some iron armor, I guess. And downstairs was completely pointless. So I've been left and right and I wanted to psych myself up for the main room. Come on then, let's see what we've got. Oh, okay, this is the main room. Okay. I had a little fly around again. Found this village with a flag on top of one of the buildings. Nothing really here though. Found a random chest on top of the hill as well. I'll give this a 6 out of 10. Oh, this scoring system's gonna be very poor. Title update 11, April 2013. So we started off spawning into the world and the tutorial area was a little bit different. So this was the first edition of Java that wasn't actually a beta version. And it was the version where they added the end. Not too much change in the starting area, although there was this missing log, which is strange. Straight away we came out to this big courtyard with a massive house. I went in the house and found an enchanting area, as well as a really dark staircase, which brought me down to this lava pit right here, with a lever that created a bridge. But there was nothing in the chest. There was also a brewing room, and I tried having a go at brewing, but then I remembered you actually need blaze powder nowadays. There was a very obvious lava wall that you needed to ender pearl through, and I ended up in this completely pointless room. Oh look, a blocked doorway. Oh look, a painfully obvious lever. I wonder what that will do. Oh look, the nether again. Does it work? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't lead anywhere. I walked out the back to find all these trees covered in vines, and I believe this is the update where they added vines. And using the vines, I climbed on the roof, where I found this hidden chest up here. There was of course your standard farming area, with a lot more crops than what they used to be, and an area to now breed the animals. Oh look, another minecart ride! I found myself a minecart and got riding, where I stumbled upon this desert temple. I walked down the staircase to find a pressure plate at the bottom. How suspicious. So I stepped on it and stood to the side, and oh, just paper. Okay, I had to fly around in creative and I found this wooden house. And in the wooden house, there was a secret trapdoor. Ah, the good old secret chest room. There was also a desert covered in snow with a plains village inside of it, with really long walls. I also found this underwater structure with a secret chest in there. And I came across this staircase with one dirt block, one annoying dirt block. And down here, 4G Studios was obviously showing off the brand new stone brick block. Cool little room though. There was also this little tower with a secret chest on top. And that was title update 11. Pretty good. I'll give that a 7 out of 10. Title update 12, August 2013. So this time we started off in a brand new tutorial area. There was nothing actually in this area, and unfortunately the house is still not built. I followed the staircase up into this big open area that looked pretty cool actually. There was a little blacksmith with tools, and down here there was a farm area. And if you followed it down further, there was a fishing area and a boat area. There was a brewing room and also an enchanting room, and there was the brand new snow golem and iron golem. So I broke the pumpkins and placed them on top of the blocks. This didn't work though, because of course now you actually need shears. Beautiful. I found our classic redstone room, which is slowly improving, and I found myself a nice minecart ride. You know I love these, so I was so excited to see what they were. Oh, That is literally it, guys. Anyway, I ventured up here to explore a little bit more, and it looks like we're heading into a big castle, and it looked pretty cool. And as I was exploring and walking around, it dawned on me that this was actually the last tutorial world that I ever saw. Because at this time, I moved on to PC, so I've never seen any of the tutorial worlds past this point. I went into the Nether, and I don't even know why I still bother. I found this very obvious secret entrance, which led down into this underground room, which looked pretty cool. I explored it until I realised I was actually in a sewers. Nice. I explored a few more rooms, and yeah, that was the tutorial area. This one was actually pretty cool. I explored a bit more and found this abandoned house down here, and I also found this tower again, but this time it was filled with redstone lamps that you could power. I also found this village, which was really badly generated. And I found an underwater pocket of air blocks for some reason. There was also a secret entrance into the Minecraft sign, but they decided to put nothing inside of it? I generally thought this one was quite cool actually. This one's gonna get a 7 out of 10. Title update 19, December 2014. So this one's a first for me. I've never actually been in this world ever, and to my shock the house is still not built. Nothing in the spawn area, so I headed over to the Minecraft sign. And as I walked through the spawn doors, I was tricked by this tripwire and generated some fireworks, which was pretty cool. Horses were now in the game now. We had our breeding area, the classic boat and fishing area, and another really cool castle. An enchanting area with tools in, which I used to fend off this creeper, where I found the redstone area which introduced hoppers to us, and also the brand new daylight sensors, some items to craft the new fireworks, and I found a beacon which is brand new to this update. You know I had to put speed on it, come on guys. And a minecart area, I can't wait for this one. Right, you have got to be kidding. What is that? Why are we downgrading here? What's going on? And I followed the long bridge to the big castle. I can't wait to explore this because it looks really cool. A secret chest under the bridge, and it looks like they're starting to put a lot of detail into the builds. And I'm not gonna lie, I got very lost in this place. There's quite a lot of secret rooms though, and honestly this massive house just kept going on and on. I was running around climbing the roofs when I found this village over here, and a nice courtyard. The redstone lamps weren't working, so I fixed that, and I headed down to this underground area where I almost got lost, but I found a nether portal with sideways portals, and shocked there was nothing there. I had to walk around the side of the castle where this dolphin gave me dolphin's grace and then did a nice little jump, and found a very empty village. But I did find this cool looking mountain here. I had to fly around and I found a swamp with a witch hut in it, which was of course brand new at the time. And whilst exploring I found a new jungle temple because these were also new. But it wasn't working very well, so I fixed the tripwire hooks. There was also the brand new desert pyramids, where I showed this creeper exactly how they work. And whilst flying around, I found this massive ship that looked really cool. And it really shocked me because I just didn't expect to see this. Along with this massive house right here. Whilst exploring this house, I realised it looked a little bit familiar, but I just couldn't quite picture where I'd seen all this. So I did some more exploring of the house, had a walk around at different areas, and then something caught my eye. I recognised this room. This is Stampy's world. And he was of course the biggest console creator. Yeah, this is definitely Stampy's room. And right next to it was the Love Garden. And it was made by 4G Studios. Yeah, I was genuinely shocked. There's all these YouTubers right here, all these famous Minecraft YouTubers for console. And whilst exploring this, I just couldn't believe that this was actually in a tutorial world. I just couldn't believe it. There was also a mycelium island, and I came across this other massive stone brick structure. And there was actually just so much to explore in this world. I was looking around for hours. I of course got lost in this area again, so I flew out. And yeah, title update 19 was a big one. It was actually a pretty great tutorial world. So I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10. Title update 31, December 2015. So once again the spawn was looking different, so I was excited to explore this world. And this title update added the bountiful update. The house was still not built, and there was some fireworks again. There was a lovely little fountain in the middle, and all the standard areas we usually get, including the minecart area, which is just ridiculous. And it came out to this huge town, which was actually really detailed. All of the houses were filled, and they even had back gardens. Every house was different, and they even had houses for beacons and also redstone rooms. They also got to show off slime blocks, because they was new in this update, so I did a jumpy jump, and look, blocks stick to them. I explored a few more houses and even looked inside this little church here, and it was a nice little town to be honest. But then I found this huge building, and when I went inside I was actually quite shocked because this looked amazing. Like, look how great this looks. Yeah, they definitely put a bit more effort into the tutorial worlds around this point. I also found this staircase on top of a mountain, and when I went up I realised it was the area we've already been in on the previous world. Like, I recognised all the houses except last time it was all stone bricks. There's even the cannon right here. I found this little lighthouse area building. And all the blocks were a bit weird, so I fixed them up. Yeah, that looks a bit better. And there was this water stone structure, which I didn't quite understand until I flicked the lever, and that's pretty cool. So I had a nice run onto the Mycelium Island, where I found a brick building, where I found a glitch nether portal, with nothing on the other side, as usual. There was this really odd looking endstone building, with absolutely nothing in. Whilst walking around, I found this massive structure here, which was a big open area with nothing in. I'm sure it's just showing off the new biomes. I of course had to explode this. And some more random buildings and lighthouses. I followed this cobblestone path all the way to the top of the mountain to find some podzol. But yeah, new blocks. I also found like a little port village and some really strange design buildings. And then I found this half constructed, maybe a church, I guess. Yeah, they've really upped their efforts in these tutorial worlds. And there was also like a dam with like a whirlpool. And of course, you know, I had to jump down it to see what was there. Secret chest, who would have guessed? There was a mansion, and then a massive maze behind it. And then I found like an outdoor assault course in the trees. And I had a little go on it. It was pretty cool, to be fair, until I realised just how long this went on for. It also came with its own roller coaster ride. Results, I enjoyed this thoroughly. Title update 31 can have a 8 out of 10. Title update 41, December 2016. I was excited for this because each time it just gets bigger and better, but each time the house is still not built. I walked forward and then I got tripped by the tripwire again with some fireworks. And I was welcomed into this huge area here, and you can just tell how much effort they actually put into this tutorial world. There was of course all your standard areas that we always seem to get, so while I'm showcasing them, just double check that you're subscribed. I would really appreciate it. I also found another minecart ride, but this time it was actually really good. You got some good views of the whole area, and it was a pleasant ride if I do say so myself. Elytras were now in the game, so I took them out of this chest and climbed the largest tower I could find. At the top you got a really good view, so I decided to go for it with the Elytras, and I failed somehow. So I actually went over to the ladders to try and land on the ladders, but ladders hitboxes work weird. And then I got on the ladder, and then I got off it, and then I died. This is the most embarrassing thing ever. Alright, attempt 2, we're going for it. I hit the first one, hit the second one, hit the third one, and yeah, this was pretty great. So I had to fly around the area, and that's when I started finding stone mobs. There were some huge stone creepers, and also massive tools. I found this spider in a cave, along with these huge ruined towers, stone endermen and gold pickaxes, and this cool nether portal tunnel. There was also this huge jungle pod area, which was too big to explore. And around the side of the map, there was these big bridges that all seemed to be in ruins. I also found this large desert village, with quite a few unique buildings, and a desert pyramid, but this time no TNT for me. Although this Sphinx was cool outside. There was an iron sword and a huge guardian. There was also this really big underwater structure, which was quite interesting to explore, to be honest. And it went on forever. There was this nether area, but with nothing in the nether, as usual. There was this nicely designed jungle village made out of cobblestone and mossy cobble. Found a stone wither and a iced out polar bear. And I found this interesting block here, until I realised it was a shulker. And the Mycelium Island looked a little bit bigger. But I thought Title Update 41 was pretty good, probably one of the best ones. So I'm going to give that a 9 out of 10. Title Update 69, September 2018. Now this was actually the final one ever created, and sadly the house was still not finished. I came out to this huge Minecraft sign which looked great, and because this is the last one I couldn't wait to see what they'd done. Everything just looked so epic. We had the crop area, the animal stables, the upgraded blacksmiths, and then I walked out to the main area with a huge stone Alex and Steve, and this place just looked pretty great, to be honest. Everything just looked so big and open. There were these slime blocks that I enjoyed jumping on all the way to the middle platform. And as I was walking around, there was your usual redstone rooms, and there was also some trident stuff because tridents were fairly new as well. There was of course the elytra area, which took me up these ladders really high, and I got a really good view of the area. It looked pretty cool actually. Damn, so much detail. I had a nice fly around, and then I found my favourite minecart area. It took me through a mine shaft and took me up really high until I got to this point where I had a nice view of everything. It looked pretty good. And then it took me to the end, and then I dropped and dropped and dropped, and then eventually landed landed on some rails, where it then took me lower and then took me under the sea through a glass tunnel, which was a pretty unique design to be fair. Yeah, I enjoyed that. Some green creepers here, and honestly just a massively beautifully looking area. They carried on the tradition with the stone mobs as they were absolutely everywhere, and I think they did every single stone mob this time. There was literally everything. Look, there's even a drown in the water, and a strider flying through the air, and a ghast coming out of the wall, and there was so much to explore I just couldn't see everything. And the final tutorial world, title update 69, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It was pretty good to be honest. Although these were discontinued, do you think they should carry on making tutorial worlds? Let me know down below. And thanks a lot for watching to the end. Make sure you're subscribed and check out this video.